Students, this is your third class in the topic Chemicals in Medicines. Chemicals in Medicines. This is related with Class 12th Chemistry, Unit-16 Chemistry in Everyday Life. And the next class of medicines is antimicrobials. Very simple. These are the chemicals used to cure diseases caused by microorganisms such as bacteria, virus, etc. The microbial disease are controlled by the following three methods. First is by using bactericidal drugs. Bactericidal drugs, that mean drug which kills the microorganisms in the body. Bactericidal drugs kills microorganisms in the body. And second class of drug is by using second method is by using bacteriostatic drugs. Bacteriostatic drug is a drug which inhibits the growth of the microorganisms, not kills. Correct? It inhibits the growth of the microorganisms. And third method is by increasing immunity and resistance of the body to infection, not kills and inhibits the growth. It increases immunity and resistance of the body. Some important antimicrobial drugs are antibiotics and sulfa drugs. So, I am going to take first antimicrobial drug, antibiotics. Then antibiotics, anti that mean against and biotic that mean life. So, according to name, these are the chemical substances prepared wholly or partially by chemical synthesis, which in low concentration either kills or inhibit the growth of microorganisms called antibiotics. This is modern definition of antibiotics. Penicillin was the first antibiotic which was discovered accidentally by Alexander Fleming in 1928 from mold Penicillium notatum. Penicillin have a general formula of C9H11O4SN2R and its general structure is this. Correct? Many types of penicillins are presently known. Suppose penicillin G, penicillin F, penicillin K, penicillin X, penicillin V and ampicillin. Differs only side chain R. Penicillin G contains C6H5CH2 single bond chain and penicillin F contains CH2 CH double bond CH CH2 CH3 chain in place of R, and penicillin K contains CH2 whole 6 CH3 chain in place of R, as like G, F and K. X contains CH2 C6H4OH. V contains C6H5OCH2 and ampicillin contains C6H4CH2NH2. Correct? Then presently antibiotics are of two types. First is narrow spectrum antibiotics. Narrow spectrum antibiotics are effective against only one type of harmful bacteria like penicillin, and broad spectrum, second type is broad spectrum antibiotic. Broad spectrum antibiotics are effective against several different type of harmful bacteria. For example, chloramphenicol. This is the general structure of chemical structure of chloramphenicol. Note student, the full range of microorganisms attacked by an antibiotic is called its spectrum. Correct? Full range of microorganism is called its spectrum. And the second type of antimicrobial drug is sulfa drug. Correct? It works as like antibiotic but more effective as compared to antibiotics. These are derivatives of sulfanilamide, which has high antibacterial powers. They are widely used against disease like diphtheria, dysentery, tuberculosis, etc. caused by cocci infection. That means against cocci infection. Some of the important sulfur drugs are sulfadiazine, used for dysentery etc. diseases, sulfapyridine, used for treatment of pneumonia, sulfaguanidine, used for the treatment of bacillary dysentery, sulfacetamide, used to cure urinary tract infections, and sulfathiazole, used against staphylococcal infection and bubonic plague, and succinyl sulfathiazole, used intestine infection, useful in intestine infection. Okay, students, then there are some important structures of sulfa drugs. This is the chemical structure of sulfanilamide, and others are derivatives of sulfanilamide. This is chemical structure of sulfadiazine. This is chemical structure of sulfaguanidine. This is sulfapyridine structure. This is sulfacetamide structure, and this is chemical structure of sulfathiazole, and this is chemical structure of succinyl sulfathiazole. So, and our next class of drug is anti-fertility drug. Anti-fertility drugs, the chemical substances used to check and control pregnancy in women are called anti-fertility drugs. The chemical substances used to check and control pregnancy in women are called anti-fertility drugs. Correct? Or oral contraceptives. These drugs control the female menstrual cycle and ovulation. Most of these drugs contains a combination of synthetic estrogen and progesterone derivatives. Progesterone inhibits ovulation. A common brand name is Innovid E. Innovid E contains a norethindrone, a progesterone derivative. It is a progesterone derivative, and ethinyl estradiol, it is an estrogen. Correct? Then here are structure of some anti-fertility drugs. Norethindrine, this is the chemical structure of norethindrine, and this is chemical structure of menstranol. And the next class of drug is antacids. Next class of drugs are antacids. These are the chemical substances which neutralize the excess acid and rise the pH to appropriate level in stomach. Correct? Neutralize the excess acid and rise the pH to appropriate level in stomach, called antacids. One of the common element associated with digestion is acid gastritis. It is a disease, gastritis, correct? Very common disease. It is caused by the excess of hydrochloric acid in gastric juice, correct? Gastritis generated by the excess of hydrochloric acid in gastric juice. Magnesium hydroxide, magnesium carbonate, magnesium trisilicate, aluminium hydroxide gel, sodium bicarbonate, etc. are some important antacids. That means weak bases works as like antacids. But recently, ranitidine, omeprazole, lansoprazole are used as better antacids which prevent from formation of acid in the stomach. Correct? Recently, ranitidine, omeprazole and lansoprazole are used as better antacids. This is the chemical structure of ranitidine, this is omeprazole and this is lansoprazole. And the next class of chemical medicine, next class of medicine is antihistamines, correct? These drugs, that mean antihistamines, are used for treatment of allergy, like in skin rashes, itching of eyes, nose and throat. It is observed that allergy is caused due to release of histamine in the body, correct? Allergy is caused due to release of histamine in the body. Due to this reason, these drugs are called as antihistamines. Note students, it is observed that allergy is caused due to release of histamine in the body. Due to this reason, these drugs are called as antihistamines. Diphenylhydramine, chlorpheniramine and promethazine are some important antihistamine. This is the structure of chlorpheniramine, chemical structure of chlorpheniramine. This is diphenylhydramine and this is promethazine, correct? So student, this is our today's topic, and here completed our topic chemicals in medicines. I think this is enough for today. We will take next topic is in next class. Okay.